Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Eric.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
We're here. We're back. And Katie is with us back. She came with us. She came back.
Katie's back for more of Showdown in Little Tokyo with us. Welcome, Katie.
Cheers.
Yeah. Katie is drinking with us tonight, which is great. What are you sipping on?
I'm just doing a good old standard Shiner Bock, an easy drinking beer. Yeah.
I'm doing a little Four Roses single barrel tonight.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
Four Roses
that's
is a good choice.
Pauly's bourbon.
Go-to bourbon.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it is. Yeah.
The Japanese love bourbon as well.
That is true. Yes, they do.
What do you got over there, Katie?
Some Pinot Grigio, because I'm a white girl.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. So, yeah, we're back to talk more about Showdown in Little Tokyo. Well, before we get crazy, Katie hosts some awesome podcasts. She hosts the Retro Made series. If you're a follower of the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network, where some of you may listen to us, you probably already know Katie's work.
Yeah.
She's awesome, like very passionate about these muscular men and their feats of strength. I think it's awesome. Anyone who says like there's no awesome women left have obviously never listened to Katie's stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right here, everyone.
Yeah, come on.
Tune in.
We're doing a forgotten, I would dare to say, Dolph Lundgren vehicle from 1991.
Virtually forgotten, but we're bringing it back.
So it sounds like none of us had much of a history with this movie.
No,
is that right?
None at all.
Okay. Yeah, I only come on my radar in the last few years. I think, Katie, you said the same, right? Like,
Yeah.
someone told you to check
the
it
title,
out, or
yeah. So I feel like there's two guys that I've done Dolph shows with. One is Zoe Richardson from Backlook Cinema, or it was Sean Malloy, who's also on the network because he does a whole Dolph podcast called I Must Break This Podcast.
I did that one time. Yeah.
Okay.
I did a couple of his shows. So it might have been him that was like, "Oh my God, you have to check this out." And I went in thinking, this is going to be the worst movie ever. And it's not.
This
it's
one?
Totally not. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one's solid. This one's like much better than like, the curse of the action guys is when they start to age out. They get into that like direct to on demand and direct to home video.
Yep. Bruce Willis, R.I.P.
And those movies are just really shitty. This one I feel like had a budget and had a major studio behind it. It just didn't turn out great. So for researching for this, I wanted to buy it. I wanted to find it for purchase because I didn't want to have to rent it from Amazon or whatever over and over again. So I bought a DVD that came like the way you and I watched it the first time, Eric, like 4x3.
Yeah, 4x3.
Like, so it was like old school, like formatted to fit your old TV.
I watched it in widescreen the other night, and you cannot tell a difference.
This is not a movie where it's like,
the whole movie is shot center of frame, so you can cut off so much on the sides, and no one's going to notice.
Was there bonus features?
No, it has nothing at all.
Oh no, bummer.
It has no closed captions. It doesn't have like any frills.
Oh wow.
It barely has like
the
a
deleted
menu.
Scenes.
Nothing.
None
of that.
20 minutes of deletion.
None of that is on this.
Yeah.
This is like one of the worst transfers you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way that this movie is meant to be seen, is like as it would have been on a Blockbuster rental in 1992.
I can confirm that it's no different. I watched it 4K HDR, and it looked exactly the same as the shitty DVD that you have.
Oh man! So all right, I'm gonna recap what has happened so far in the flick.
Let's see it.
Which is basically there's a cop named Kenner.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming to bust up some sort of an illegal underground fighting ring that's happening in Little Tokyo in LA. He comes in there, but in the middle of his raid, some Yakuza guys attack the club, shoot up a bunch of guys, get out of there. The next day, Kenna runs into those same Yakuza guys again. They get into a fight in a diner. He is introduced to his new partner named Johnny, who shows up in the middle of the fight and mistakes Kenner for like the bad guy somehow. They do bring one guy back to the police station, but the guy kills himself rather than talk to them at all. And then we're introduced to the big bad guy, whose name is Yoshida. He's like the leader of the Yakuza. We don't really know what their scheme is yet, but we're about to find out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Okay, so after the car crushing, we cut to a mansion and a house party that's going on very late at night. And there are more topless women at this party than there are anybody else.
It was like, this movie's got to have the greatest amount of gratuitous
There's
nudity
so
in the
much-
history of the podcast.
Oh my God. Well, then the thing too is that at least in this scene, there's so many fake breasts that it's hard to even be aroused because they all look like Barbie dolls.
It wasn't the best work. It wasn't the best plastic surgeon.
This was early '90s where they hadn't figured it out yet, or they honestly. But
it sounds
I
like
don't
you
think they still have. I don't know.
that's what I said. That's what I said. Honestly, they still haven't. Yeah.
So it sounds like, Eric, you think this is the same night that they crushed the dude.
I think this is the same night that they crushed the
dude,
dude.
and then they came to the party.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I think this was celebrating crushing a dude. Like this is just their standard.
Because now they have the club.
Yeah, they have the club.
They have the
so
club
they're
now, right?
celebrating.
They just took over the club. Yeah.
And I get the sense that the club was some sort of milestone for them. Like now that they own the club, they own Little Tokyo, right? Like that was the final step.
Maybe that was
to
the only
controlling
other.
the
That
city.
guy they killed, Tanaka, was like the last obstacle
holdout.
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I think. So we see Monako. We're getting introduced to her character.
That's
and
Tia Carrera.
Tia Carrera.
Yeah.
And she's walking up to her friend Angel, who is just really smoking a lot of meth out of this hilarious glass pipe. I mean,
But just out in the open, like
Comically large.
just comic. Yeah, it just no subtlety.
it wasn't like coke sniffing. It was like smoking meth out of a pipe. It was, just like nobody else is doing it. Just
that's
her.
not like a glamorous drug.
No, it's
No.
not a glamorous drug.
Glamorous way to
Yes.
take that drug.
Right, exactly. It was hilarious.
She's just freebasing it.
But anyway, Monaco's super pissed at Angel because she said, "Look, I thought you said you were going to quit," and she has all sorts of some sort of excuses for it. Anyway,
Well,
Angel
the thing about drug addicts, you guys, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, they tend to go back to it.
Yeah.
So Angel explains that she heard that there's a new Yakuza in town and that he was after Tanaka, and so now she's scared. And we'll find out why she's scared in a moment.
Right. And Tanaka was the guy who ran the
club.
fighting club who just got crushed.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly. So at that moment, because she was foreshadowing herself, Sato walks up and says that Yoshida wants to talk to her.
Nothing ominous here.
Nothing ominous here. Nothing
She's
to
like,
see
those
here.
guys scare the shit out of me. And then
Yeah.
it's like, he wants to talk to you. It's
Like, uh-oh.
I guess I got no choice.
Yeah. So Angel's brought upstairs and into Yoshida's office and is shown security camera footage of herself talking on the phone to Tanaka, warning him that the Yakuza is coming to take over his club and kill him. So Yoshida tells Angel that he admires her loyalty, but that was very foolish.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There was some wild shit happening on the monitors. Like
Yeah.
the next monitor over, there was like, it seemed like a hidden camera in a bedroom,
Yeah.
like people were having sex.
It was
or
like
whatever.
hidden cameras everywhere. Yeah.
Wild.
So he tells Angel that Tanaka has decided to retire and says that she'll need a new employer now. She offers to do Yoshida even in front of his room full of cronies.
Uh-huh.
And she starts undressing herself and just drops right to her knees, which is like, okay, girl, all right. I mean, we're just going to go right for it. Sure.
She's trying to save her life, man.
I mean, look, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yoshida grabs her and says, I think I'll do you, right, in response to her statement.
It's like, oh, let her cook, Yoshida.
Right, I know. So he spins her around and gestures to one of his goons who loads up a pipe with more meth because, that's what she likes.
He kept a giant dish of crystal meth on
It
his
was literally,
desk.
he just like scooped up some and put it into the pipe.
It was like grandma's candy bowl or something. It was
exactly, the
full of
hard
crystal
candy.
meth.
Okay, I don't know anything about meth, but do they come in like these giant rocks like that?
All I know is Breaking Bad.
Yeah, all I know is Breaking
they
Bad.
cook it,
So
and Breaking Bad, it was like a big sheet
yeah.
that is
it wasn't
liquid,
like
and
a
then it
big
gets
rock
hard, then it
like
gets
that.
crystallized, and then they come through with like a hammer or something and smash it up.
I mean, given they call it crystal meth, I've got to believe that that's actually probably
some
pretty
sort of
accurate.
crystallization
Yeah.
happening.
I guess, but I don't know. It was like a whole rock in a pipe, and then he lights it.
Yeah.
I didn't think that's how it worked.
I don't
but
know how
whatever.
the actual smoking of it works.
I am happy to say that I cannot provide any tips on how to smoke crystal meth.
I'm glad that I don't either.
That's a
I
research
just thought
for next
Right,
week.
for next week.
You'd think you'd need to crush it up or something. I don't know.
I have no idea. So the goon lights a pipe for Angel, and at this point, Yoshida turns on the cameras that are all over the room.
It's always smart to document your crimes.
Right, yeah. He gets it. I know, this is always important. It's important for criminals to keep a track of what they're doing.
Film yourself doing
Well, this will
right.
come back to him later.
It
in the
does
movie,
come
right?
back to him,
Yeah.
yeah. So he uses a short sword, and you think at first that he's going to kill her, but instead he just cuts off her blouse and takes off her bra, and man, she needed a better surgeon. Anyway.
This was the moment where there was an extreme close-up of the guy who just snapped his own neck in the previous scene.
That's right. That's
like
right.
he was in the room, like they must have fixed it in the editing.
Yeah.
Like changed the order of the scenes around.
Yep.
Because that dude who we just saw kill himself is
in
gets
the
an
room.
extreme close-up.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he?
They
Yeah.
gave like
good
an extreme
eye,
close-up of
guys.
him looking on, and it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like there had to have been some other shot you could have used.
I feel like, yeah, I know. I don't understand why they went to because it was like a 2-second close up. You could have cut it, and it would not have changed anything in the movie.
Like, did he have no other insert you could have stuck in there?
Right. But why did they even? I mean, anyway, whatever. But yeah, so the guy who had killed himself in the previous scene is now alive again.
He's in this room watching it all go down.
So,
Or his twin brother.
yes, his twin. There we go. We love to steal, man.
It's
It was his
identical
twin brother. It was
I
his,
think
like,
they might have
It
literally
is.
been wearing the same shirt.
yeah. Stop.
Okay,
There's twins. They like the same clothing. Come on. Work with me here.
We've been talking about the twins on Rocky V, Mike or Jimmy.
Yeah. So as he cuts off her bra, he turns her around and he bends her over his desk. And while she's bent over, he like gestures to Sato to get him a katana. And so Sato grabs a katana, passes it to Yoshida. This ominous music builds. All of Yoshida's goons are really turned on by this, like just really aroused by what's about to happen. It's pretty clear.
Yeah. The whole scene was like so icky.
It was
The
really
dudes are like
icky.
into it.
They're really into it. Yeah.
They built it for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then with one clean cut, we see Yoshida cut Angel's head off, and we get just a couple of frames of her head flying off screen.
That was pretty fucking shocking.
Yeah.
Even though I do feel like we all knew what was coming, like
Right.
it was still like, holy shit,
Yeah.
that's like a dark
It-
moment.
That was super dark. So cut to the next day, and the officials are rolling Angel's corpse out in a body bag, and the coroner.
But wait, from where?
Right, exactly.
This is not where they killed
no.
her.
I guess they dumped her body. That's all I can assume.
in some
yeah.
other building or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he killed her at the beach mansion.
Yeah, he killed
right?
her at the beach mansion,
Okay.
and then they must have just dumped her body. Just
think that's
any
what it
random
was?
place.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like the classic joggers running. It's like, huh? He walks over. Oh my god! And then
Well,
cut to the corner.
If this
It
location
looked like they were coming out of an office building or something.
Right, they
it was
kinda
like
did.
a building adjacent to a church.
Yeah.
And if the
Yes.
church looked familiar, it was because that was the same church from John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
Oh, it was.
That's
It's like
right.
almost almost said it. And I was like, oh, that's
Interesting.
kind of cool. I guess. Yeah. why
Did you
not?
guys recognize the coroner or the ME?
I
you
did
No.
recognize her face, but
I
not
did not
from
recognize
what.
her at all.
Well, at first I was like, oh my God, it's Tamara Tooney, the ME from SVU. But it wasn't. Upon closer inspection, it is not Tamara Tooney, but they look similar. It
Okay.
is the actress's name is Vernie Johnson,
Okay.
and she played Will's mom on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh,
Yes.
what? Really?
She was crazy
Yeah.
familiar to me. I feel like she might have been on ER as well.
Oh, I was
perhaps,
never that huge into Fresh Prince, but that's crazy that she played the mom.
but She was super familiar looking. I didn't know if she was meant to be the coroner or the medical examiner or a cop or what. She had way too much information
Right. She had all
to
of
be
the
any one
information.
to be any
Right.
one of those people.
Yeah, because she's telling Johnny and Kenner about the fact that her head was cut off with a very, very sharp knife.
Right.
Which I guess you can tell that
I
just
feel
by
like
looking
that.
at.
I feel like you could visually maybe see that.
Yeah, I mean, like if you can tell if it's a cut versus a hack, I guess. So
But then she's like, but I've seen a lot of beheadings in my day. And this was like,
really?
damn.
Have you?
This is some wild shit.
That's a problem.
I've seen a lot of beheadings.
But Kenner posits that the cut was done with a sword.
Yeah,
and
right.
And the Emmy says that it's possible, but in her experience, it's really hard to behead someone cleanly.
Yeah,
Which,
that's
okay,
when she's like,
again.
seen a lot of beheadings.
Yeah, I mean, like, why?
shit.
Okay. So,
LA in the 90s, man. I
oh,
don't know.
God, it was dangerous.
There was a photographer, like not a medical, like not a policeman, like remember the press inside the crime scene tape, like running around just snapping pictures. I'm like, this is crazy. He had like 4 cameras hanging around his neck.
Oh my God.
You know, and it was
that's
like
hilarious.
the typical like paparazzi
yeah,
look.
Yeah.
Like, why is this guy inside the crime scene tape?
Well, the coroner says that it didn't matter that she was beheaded because she was going to die in about 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
And Kenner's like, why? And she opens the body bag and we see the severed head. It's like,
was
boom,
in
right
front
there.
of everyone.
Yeah, right. There was no subtlety
That
here.
was crazy. You could hear this. You could hear the photographer like,
yeah.
and like you did this in front of all the bystanders, in front of like. That is insane.
Yeah, and she
that
says,
is insane. That is the craziest thing that happens in this whole movie.
I know.
Is when she just whips the severed head out of the bag.
And the thing is she didn't even need to do that because
No.
all she's doing is showing that her eyes were dilated to the point that she was clearly going to die from crystal meth in a very short period of time.
I don't know that it's possible to know that.
It's not possible.
From looking with
There's
your naked eye.
No way. You would absolutely, I feel like, take a tox screen to see the amount of drugs in her system.
And that's where, like, okay, so I guess she's got to be like a medical examiner because I don't think a cop.
Right.
I don't think a cop could know that.
No, exactly. I mean, I don't think an ME could know that, but
she's about to know some things that no ME could ever know.
that is about. Yeah, that's right. So because Kenner wants to know more, and the ME somehow is able to explain that this type of meth is called ice. And it's very big in Japan, but she's never seen it in LA before. And I'm like, how much crystal meth do you smoke, lady? That you have like a taste for it. Like you have a style.
Half of the bodies on her table are. Also, I didn't think I get my meth knowledge from Breaking Bad as well. And I didn't think meth was such a big thing in the early 90s.
In the early 90s, it was like the thing that everybody was scared about was crack cocaine.
Yeah, I feel like this was ahead of its time a little
Right.
bit.
And it
she
really
even
was.
says, she even like references rock.
Yeah.
Which is crack,
Which is
right?
crack. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But this
I
is
don't know,
like,
man.
I don't think there's any way that anyone could know what type of meth
No.
this person had done.
No.
From like looking at her
Right.
eyes
There's
or
just,
whatever.
I mean, like the best Emmy ever. Right.
And then who would know like what type of drugs are big in Japan, although they've never been in Los Angeles before?
Right. I was like, I don't.
Where is she getting all this knowledge
What is this
from?
information, man?
That is like
She went to a conference the prior weekend. Come on.
What a perfect coincidence.
This is like
Yeah.
a massive, just like exposition dump
I do love the idea that she was in an Emmy conference the previous weekend.
in Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
in Tokyo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This reminded me of the bit like in Wayne's World, the moment where he's like, boy, that person had an awful lot of information for a security guard, didn't they? This is like, boy, she had an awful lot of information, didn't
For
she?
an Emmy, yeah. Anyway, the Emmy warns that if this drug is about to hit LA, they are in for a biblical plague. Johnny says that Little Tokyo is a weird part of town at this point.
Like that was a line strictly for the trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. And also it's LA. LA is a weird city all up, top to bottom. There's no normal part of LA. We cut to, and it's a little later, and Little Tokyo is all lit up with neon signs, and we see signs for Red Dragon Beer and the Bonsai Club.
I love those visuals. I love the whole like Tokyo aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like just neon everywhere and stuff. I love that.
Also, the Bonsai Club is a great name.
Bonsai Club is a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. I totally agree. So Kenner and Johnny are cruising the streets, and Kenner asks, why is it that Johnny knows so little about his own culture?
I just had to do like a training for work, and I feel like that definitely like qualifies as racial harassment.
Yeah, straight up. I know.
Like, so, why don't you know anything about your culture? Like that's harassment, dude.
There's a little bit of meta irony here because Brandon Lee's not Japanese.
That's
so
true. What if he had been like, I'm not Japanese, dude.
Right.
I'm Chinese.
Yeah.
I'm half Chinese.
He's like, I know about malls and MTV.
Yeah, I love that.
From the Valley.
I was raised in the Valley.
I was raised in the Valley. My dad's a white guy. Yeah.
That was then he called him Champ again.
Yeah,
so
Champ,
we would
right.
take another drink.
I wonder,
Chant.
I wonder if that was like a Brandon Leeism, like that. He just felt really strongly that that's something that his character would do.
My dad is a white
Maybe.
guy. It was a good line.
Oh, that was a good line, though.
Dentist.
He's a dentist. Yeah.
Kenner says that though that doesn't explain the Bushido, which
that
it doesn't really
weird,
mean anything because again, my understanding of Bushido,
it's like a philosophy.
It's a philosophy
right?
of life, right?
It's like being very stoic and honor, like death before dishonor.
Exactly. You can practice Bushido without knowing how to do backflip kicks, right?
Yeah.
Like the two are not mutually exclusive.
And Johnny's not showing one iota of like Bushido,
right? No,
he's showing I think maybe they meant. I don't know what.
I don't know what they meant.
I think he meant a martial art.
I feel like
he
they
brings
just
up
looked
like
at
haikus and like gardening or something, and then Kenner says something about the samurai. I don't know, something about the warrior has to have another side to him.
He does get into samurai code and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
like
because
the soft side.
Yeah, because Johnny explains that his mom wanted him to learn martial arts to embrace his Japanese identity, and there's more to Japan than martial arts, right?
Sure.
It's an extremely rich culture filled with so much history.
Well, she wanted to learn flower arranging, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "But come on."
Yeah, but come on. That's right. She did want him to learn flower arranging. That's true. So Johnny asked though why Kenner's so into Japanese culture,
which is a more legitimate question.
Which is a legit question. And Kenner explains that he was raised in Japan. And that's when Johnny goes like, did you learn about flower arranging? And Kenner says, look, it's important to be well-rounded, and many of the best samurai wrote haiku, which that is Bushido, right? Like that is
that
the
like
whole
sort of
philosophy, right?
Yeah.
But Johnny's response is those poems that don't rhyme?
I feel like this was a character development scene.
Yeah.
And the character development's just like sorely lacking in the movie.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I was like, does any character in this movie have like an arc?
No,
Does anyone change at all from the beginning to the end of the movie? Probably not.
I really don't think so. Everybody begins and ends exactly where they were.
Yeah.
Which is true to life.
People don't change, especially not in a weekend.
Right, not in a weekend.
Kenner got revenge. I don't know.
Yeah, he got revenge. So that's good. He closed the loop.
They ended up being partners. Neither of the two guys could keep a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
there we go.
They like each other.
They find their common ground.
We got the arc.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie.
Okay.
You found the arc.
Mhm.
That's what we needed.
Kenner learned to embrace his white culture.
Johnny learned to embrace his Japanese culture. Yeah. So Kenner says he's taking Johnny to the Bonsai Club for some quote unquote cultural immersion. And Johnny says, I don't eat raw fish.
Yeah. I feel like this was the early days of the sushi going mainstream.
Yeah, right. And so they're pulling the car around back because they can't go in the front. And for reasons that are unexplained.
doesn't make any
It doesn't
sense.
make any sense whatsoever. But the musical score at this point, particularly,
You're on official police business. I don't think you can just walk in the
Sneak
front. I
in.
think if you
Yeah.
want to, they can't stop you.
well, I mean, it's a public place, so they can't stop you, right? So, yeah. But
I don't know. It's just weird.
it was just a weird thing. But
It gets
either-
about to get weirder. but
It keeps getting weirder, but I want to call it here the musical score briefly because the music in this movie is all over the map. It's all synth.
this was the bit that was sort of like Tango and Cassius, like the little jaunty like partner theme.
You know what it reminded me of is a Sega Genesis game, like a Sonic the Hedgehog game. It was really weird.
There were points where I recognized like a very specific, like stereotypical Japanese sounding like musical cue. It was like the evil.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that one was I feel like
Yeah.
that was like the one pretty effective theme, and they used the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of it was just random.
But this was
synth
like I
shit.
feel like the Johnny and Kenner partner theme.
Yeah.
And it was kind of corny. Like it sounded like an outtake from Tango and
I
Cash.
feel like that they hired the composer or the composer thought he was hired to score a porn movie. And then he gets the dailies. He's like, "Oh, I have
don't know.
misjudged this completely."
Porn movies have more character development.
This movie did not know what it wanted to be.
No.
Yeah.
So they park the car in the back alley, and they get out and they go and knock on the back door, and this big guy comes out.
It was Branscombe Richmond,
Oh, really?
the dude from he's been in a bunch of movies. He was in the last Seagal flick we did.
Yeah,
and he was like,
Carnival,
"It's
yeah.
hot dog time."
Yeah, that's right.
Guy from Action Jackson.
That's
yeah, he's
right, that's
another just
right.
like he's in every action movie.
Yeah, you need an action.
You need a goon.
extra.
You need someone to fill up space and take a punch.
Yep.
That's your guy.
Well, he takes a punch because he lays him down. Kenner lays him down in one hit.
He never even said like,
Nope.
we're the police.
Nope.
He
Just punches him in the face.
No badge flashing. No like, hey,
Nothing.
where the police were coming in. He just like punched the guy.
Yep. And Johnny is impressed because it's hard to knock out a man in a single punch because famously it takes multiple rounds usually in boxing to do that.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but Dolph Lundgren has like 3 times the pounds per square inch of a normal boxer.
Of a normal boxer. We've seen that. 1,800 pounds per square inch. Something like that.
There's video evidence.
It ended up being like 2,100 or something.
Yeah, he punches it over even above it.
Shouldn't that have been in kilograms also?
Also, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Soviets.
Yeah, those crazy Soviets.
They converted it for the Americans. To intimidate the Americans.
So
they did need to because we are dumb and we needed that.
We needed the help. I wish they had left it in kilograms and then added a subtitle that converted it to pounds. That would have been hilarious. Anyway, so they enter the back door and 3 more goons show up out of nowhere. And Johnny's gestures that he's got this one. And then he beats up all 3 guys like no problem. And Kenner looks completely unimpressed. And he asks him like, when did you start training? And Johnny goes, oh, I was 4. And he says, well, your form needs more work. And Johnny goes, I was 4.
Yeah.
You should have started earlier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the dudes that got punched out were more familiar faces.
Yeah.
There was a dude, the first guy that got punched out was named George Chung. He was in Lethal Weapon 4, Rush Hour, Under Siege.
Okay.
Big Trouble in Little China, as like half these guys are. But most famously, he was like the head Vietnamese soldier in Rambo 2.
Okay.
The one who gets like blown up with the exploding arrow.
I remember that.
Or whatever. Oh, he was also in Weekend at Bernie's somehow.
Sure.
And then the next guy up was James Liu, who was just in Time Cop, Lethal Weapon 4. Also, he was the karate teacher in Action Jackson. He's in Big Trouble in Little China, and They Live.
That's right. Oh, wow. Yeah.
He was Se-Jin Kwan in Best of the Best, one of my favorite like karate movies from this era. And he was the stunt coordinator in one of your favorites, Double Impact.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He must have been tight with
we'll have
Van
to do
Damme.
Double Impact at some point. That
2
is
Van Dammes? What do you think of 2 Van Dammes in one movie, Katie?
movie? Come on.
I mean, I cannot complain about that. I've not seen this movie, but I feel like
one's like very like metrosexual, and the other one's like very much like a bad boy from the street. So you get like 2 flavors of Van Damme.
And they
does he have a mullet?
No mullet in this
I think
one.
they both had short crop
they both
hair.
had short crop hair.
Do you like the mullet or do you like the...
No, I hate the mullet.
Oh,
okay, good. You're going to like this one then.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, they enter the main room of the club, which I feel like they could have done just by going in the front door.
Exactly. They walk right up to the maitre d'. And it's like, well, now why'd you sneak in the back?
Right, exactly.
You could have gone in the front and not had to beat up 5 guys or whatever.
So more nudity here.
Gratuitous nudity was off the charts.
So there's a couple of women wearing sumo outfits, wrestling topless.
With, like kabuki makeup on their faces as well as just
you
weird.
Guys. What? Why? That okay. I know I'm a woman, but I cannot imagine you guys thinking that's hot.
No.
It looks like a diaper.
Not at all.
It was just the whole thing was weird. Even the eating the sushi off the naked women that was happening. Like I don't really.
My first thought was like,
Ew.
wow, that's really unhygienic.
I guess it's just like this is how we're masters of the universe. So the women are all subservient to us. I think is the
I know
what people get off on that. But yes, I wouldn't want to do it.
that is a thing. Like I know, like. Yeah, like
it is. Yeah, I've heard of it.
But I even it was like it wasn't even like it was on her boobs. Like maybe there was one on her stomach, but it was on her actual genital area.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like,
ew,
that's
gross.
The nudity meter like just went off the charts.
Oh, I know.
Though, on this
props
scene.
to actually finding some ladies in LA that didn't have fake boobs in this scene, though, because there was a few with real ones in this scene. Which
there were some. I was like, oh yeah, she looks like a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
But what was this club?
This is the Bonsai Club.
This is the Bonsai Club. So this is
I know, but I mean.
What is
the feast for the eyes?
Is it a strip club? Is it
right. Is it a strip club? Is it a sushi restaurant? Like, what is it?
I don't want to mix my strippers and my sushi.
There's a bar.
Yes.
It's clearly there are like Japanese businessmen in suits eating off
there's
the
like
ladies.
a musical act on stage.
Yeah, there's a musical act on stage, which is
there's
Minoko.
a lounge singer. There's a lounge singer, Tia Carrera. There's the ring of the topless, weird, not at all hot.
Something for everyone.
Sumo wrestling.
It's like Dave and Buster's in there, but
One more thing.
Yeah.
When Tia Carrere stopped singing her weird lounge act,
Yes.
the background music is hair metal.
Yeah. I feel like
the
it was
weirdest club.
It was foreshadowing Wayne's World.
Yeah, that's what I like to think that Wayne's World character was like the same character, but like in the witness protection program. So they set her up in Wisconsin or Chicago, Aurora, Illinois, and
I will tell you, Tia Carrere's voice is much better suited to rock metal than this because it was not great in my opinion.
When I was reading up where Tia Carrere came from, like she was an aspiring singer and she was on Star Search like trying to be a singer or whatever.
God,
so
really?
I think that's why she kept getting these little singing parts in her early movies.
I mean, her voice worked for Wayne's World, but she was mostly just screaming. But
not
here,
so much in this one.
Doing Slow Hand by the Pointer Sisters, she really just was having trouble keeping in tune. And it surprises me that they like actually, because it was clearly her voice, because it sounded exactly the same as her.
They would have
World.
gotten someone better if they were.
Yeah, exactly.
If it wasn't her.
So anyway, like we said, Kenner walks right up to the maitre d' and says he wants to speak to Tanaka, and the maitre d' is like, Tanaka doesn't own the club anymore. And then both Johnny and Kenner take a long look at Minako because sure, okay. And Johnny says like I'd like to get immersed in that.
A decent line, no, gross, but
I feel like
funny.
50% of Johnny's lines are quips in this.
He's
movie.
a horny dude too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did, but he like swings both ways. It seems like. Again, we'll get to that. So Kenner points out that the girl on stage is the friend of Angel, the beheaded woman who was going to die in 20 minutes from meth. And but he said, by the way, don't mention Angel's death when we talk to Minako. So Minako comes off stage, and Kenner goes up to her, and they're like, we're looking for Angel, and wants to know if she's seen Angel, which I guess is a ploy, right? Like,
right. I think they're just like seeing how much she knows.
Right? Yeah. And so Minako says that you must be Kenner, and that I shouldn't be talking to you right now.
I do feel like everyone in Little Tokyo would know Kenner.
I feel like that's an answer.
He's like the 6'5" like Adonis.
Yeah, exactly.
Cop.
Who speaks fluent Japanese and is constantly swinging in to break down
swinging in from the
illegal
rappers.
fight rings.
With his signature leather jacket.
With his signature leather jacket. Yeah, that's exactly right. So anyway, Kenner wants to know when Minako was when Minako last saw Angel. And Minako says that she saw her the night before at the party for the Red Dragon Brewery. She says that she knows the owner of the brewery is also the owner of the Bonsai Club now. And Kenner asks if she saw Angel leave the party. Minako says that she went to speak up with the owner, and then she didn't see her after that. And we know what happened. So Kenner asks her who the no owner is. And at this point, Minako like just shuts her trap. She doesn't say anything. So Kenner then follows up, and he says, like, if you know where, if you have any more information, you know where to find me. And then she walks away at that point.
I don't feel like they could let her like leave without getting a sworn affidavit from her
at this point.
Pronto.
Right?
Like she's one of the last people to see Angel alive. She saw who she left with. They got to get that on the record.
At the very least, I mean, like even if it's not an affidavit, you'd bring her in for questioning, right? Like you have to. You're trying to solve a murder.
I feel like you don't just like let her just go on about her business.
Right. She's openly admitted that she saw Angel shortly before she, died. You would bring her in for questioning.
Yeah, you got to get that on the record.
Right. Exactly.
They can't be bothered with paperwork, you guys. That's for the low-level cops. These guys are special.
This is why Kenner could never keep a partner, because all of his partners wanted to do the paperwork, and he's like, "Fuck paperwork."
Johnny was just like staring at her ass when she walked.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like straight.
He
up.
say something like, "Oh, sweet."
Yeah, that's right.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it was just he's such a horn dog.
Now that you say that, why isn't he upset with Kenner that Kenner got her?
I think he was a little jealous.
I think he was, but also maybe we'll get to it. But I have thoughts on what was going on with Johnny in this.
Was he jealous of Minako or was he jealous of Kenner?
I have thoughts. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. We'll get there.
I can't wait.
Anyway, foreshadowing, everybody. This is what drama comes from.
It's a tease.
So subtle too.
So Yoshida's goons at this point flood into the club and they surround Kenner and Johnny. They start fighting the group. And they're just ripping on everybody's asses, like just killing them. Like who
they're
are
beating
these
the
goons? They're the worst goons ever.
Johnny did this thing where he like threw the pocket change in the tall skinny guy's like face, and the guy reacted like it was friggin' acid or something.
It was what it reminded me of. Yeah, like Johnny throws like 3 coins in this guy's face.
He's
He's like,
my eyes.
What it reminded me of is the Naked Gun when Drebin is having the fight with the assassin in Lisa Marie Presley's bathroom. And he grabs a hot towel and throws it on the guy's face, and the guy goes, like holds the towel on his face like it's killing him. Anyway,
they're like cartoon goons.
They're they are straight up cartoon goons. So
Yeah.
this is like where we see a bonding moment, and again, as Katie's established, the arc is right. They come together. They learn how to be partners together. This is our first moment of that because they're actually helping each other out as they fight, like rolling over each other's backs.
Yeah,
and
it was great. I thought the choreography was nice.
Yeah, so
perfectly coordinated. The
yeah,
chair move, that was
sweet.
They're great improvisers. Great improvisers.
Mm-hmm.
So a guy comes running at Kenner at one point with a knife. Johnny yells out, and Kenner ducks. Johnny springs off Kenner's back, like we said, knocks the guy out. Then some guy grabs Kenner's legs, trips him to the floor. Then Ao Leong shows up, everybody.
Appears.
Thank God.
He's here to even the odds.
Ao Leong, always easing the odds. And he hits Johnny over the head, and the fight is basically over at this point because Sato walks in, puts a gunner to Kenner's face, and then, okay, well, now you can't. You bring a gun to a martial arts fight, and that's not fair.
You know shit's going to get real when Ao Leong shows up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I hear you guys, who is this Ao Leong?
He was on.
What should I know him from?
He was in Die Hard. He was like the Asian member of the terrorist squad, the one who was like eating the Crunch bar.
Yeah.
When the SWAT team's coming in.
Yeah.
He was in Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
He was the guy torturing Riggs and Murtaugh. Like he was Mr. Endo.
Yeah.
Who this movie has that same scene later on, but with someone else. It should have been Ao Leong.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
He was in Big Trouble in Little China. He's just like the most well known, I think, of the Asian henchmen.
Mm-hmm.
That's
from this
interesting
era.
because I feel like I know Jeff Amata more.
He's like on Amata's level.
He's definitely on Amata's
Okay.
level, but did he ever do any stunt coordination or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's a great movie called Henchmen that's a documentary about Ao Leong.
Oh, very cool.
It's like
No way.
it's got Amata and all the other guys like as guests.
Oh, cool.
I think Ao Leong's still alive, but he was like battling cancer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But he was one of those in the credits that I was talking about last episode.
Go back and check it out, everybody. If you
Yeah.
dropped it
Yeah.
late.
There was more than one Leong.
Oh, he's probably got a brother.
Interesting. He's
In the-
got to have a brother.
Yeah.
Stuntman Al,
Yeah.
and then he's got his brother, like
Mhm.
Stuntman Mike or whatever.
Yeah. So the goons walk Kenner and Kenny. The goons walk Kenner and Johnny. That's what their kid's name would be, is Kenny. by the
Kenny.
way.
That's their
Kenny.
couple
Yeah.
name.
That's their couple name.
couple
That's their
name.
couple
name.
name. Right. On social, they have a shared account, and it's called Kenny.
What's your couple name? What are you guys?
Oh, we don't.
Oh, we haven't
Carrick,
really.
We haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
Carrick is hard to
Carrick.
couple up.
I think Carrick.
Carrick.
Or Kevik.
Carrick.
Or
Kevik or
Kevik.
Carrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Evan. Oh, yeah. It's just
that-
Evan. It's just
Sure.
Evan. Anyway, Kenner tells Johnny not to worry because if they wanted us dead, they would have already killed us.
That's that old action movie chestnut.
Yeah.
If you want to
classic
be
trope.
dead, you would have killed me already.
Yep, exactly. They're walked into the basement of the club. Johnny's still scared.
Johnny calls him champ again.
Yeah, champ
So take a
again.
drink.
Right. Again, I feel like this is a Brandon Lee. He's like, I know my character would say champ.
Mhm.
Even to guys who outrank me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really.
I call my superior officer champ.
So, but Kenner tells him to chill out and like just play by their rules, be polite, show respect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, okay. At this point, though, Johnny says, "I got a real bad feeling about this." Is that a Star Wars reference?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, you know.
It's not clever enough to be a Star Wars reference. Because at this point we've got an implied Incredible Hulk reference with the "you wouldn't like me when I'm grumpy" line.
You're giving them too much credit.
I'm
Yeah,
drawing
I think
lines
so
where
too.
there's no
I feel
lines.
like that's just like a common.
It's just a hacky writer thing, I think.
tropey.
All right, look, I'm deep in nerd lore, so
You're
I
deep
can't
into
help
that case of Shinerbach.
Well, look,
You're
it's
deep
episode
in.
2. I got to get going.
P.S. Eric, I love how you call Shinerbach because isn't that like an amber or something?
It's just a
It's a
lager.
Bach, I
yeah,
guess.
it's a Bach.
Oh, it's
beer.
a lot. Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
a Bach
'Cause to
beer.
me,
An
that's
amber
like
lager.
that's no Michelob Ultra.
No, it's not Mick Ultra. No, but I'm a lush, famously, as if you've listened to the show, so you know that I'm a bit of a lush. So
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm with you guys.
This is why we love having you on the show. So at this point, they're introduced to Yoshida. And here's where we get introduced to the ubiquitous sumo goon in a Hawaiian shirt.
Absolutely. The one guy who's not in like the suit.
Yeah, I feel like this is a legal requirement. I feel like the MPAA won't let you do one of these movies unless you have a sumo goon in a Hawaiian shirt. And so when Kenner gets a look of Yoshida's face, all of a sudden he has a flashback of the murder of his parents. And we see at this point that it was Yoshida who killed them. During the flashback, Yoshida like backhands Kenner and he's knocked against the table. Kenner grabs like a decorative wooden sword, and as Yoshida is bringing his very, very sharp samurai sword down on a grown man, this very young child with a fake sword blocks the samurai sword so well that it bounces back and scars Yoshida's face.
He's got that.
It's Dolph Lundgren.
It's got the Dolph Lundgren
Yeah,
strength.
right,
it's Dolph Lundgren.
Superhuman.
Enough said.
Genetics.
That's it.
It's genetics.
We steel manned it just by saying Dolph Lundgren.
He's gonna do some shit in a minute that will blow your mind
Oh
with
my
his sheer
God.
strength.
However, so he's 9. Like this, his parents are killed when he's 9.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so are we assuming, how old do we think he is?
Now?
29? Is this like 20 years
Yeah,
later?
he's got to be 30.
The latest early 30s. Like
Yeah.
no more than
So yeah,
31.
20 years later sounds good.
Yeah, I think this is about 20 years later.
Okay, so that makes Yoshida
He's
50
40 to
something?
50.
I would say he's in his 50s. Yeah, that would be where I'd put him.
He could have been a young man at the time that he did that
And that-
murder. He could have been
up-and-comer-
22, or so
Yeah,
now
he-
he's 42.
He could have just been an enforcer working for the.
Yeah, he wasn't the head of the. I don't think he was the head of the
Right, right.
the Yakuza yet.
Also,
I mean, he looks older, but I was just trying to figure out.
aged
I mean,
well.
it tracks.
I mean, he does in real life. Like if you look at him in Mortal Kombat, which comes out like 5 or 6 years later, he looks exactly the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk about continuity a little bit here. What the hell was Kenner's parents into that they draw the ire of the Yakuza enough that they invade a military base in Japan to murder them in their sleep?
Maybe they lived off base. I don't know.
Maybe they lived off base. I guess.
Because that'd be hard to get in there. But yeah, he said it was his boss. His dad was like a military policeman,
Yeah, he was an MP.
like in Japan after the war.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
His
after
dad
the war,
it sounds like his dad was mixed up in some shit.
he definitely.
Well,
was
I
mixed up
wondered
with
a little
shit.
bit too, but now that I thought so too, I'm like, are they like wrapped up in some mob stuff? But I guess maybe just the nature of his job.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true.
don't know.
He's in the way.
Yeah, he's just in the way, I guess. Anyway, flash forward back to the present. Kenner disarms the goon and grabs his gun back.
This is
and
when we
then-
got a full like Jeff Amata close up. He was just one
oh.
of when all the goons were pointing their guns at the camera. I was like, "It's Jeff Amata."
Oh, how did I miss him? Oh well, sorry.
He
Jeff.
just looked different. He had the mullet. The mullet was gone.
Oh yeah. So the goons whip all their guns out, and it's a gun fest at this point. There's guns everywhere. Kenner rips open Yoshida's shirt, and we see the Yakuza tattoos.
Those tearaway shirts, man.
Yeah, those tearaway shirts. I mean, this is what happens when you do fast fashion. I don't know what else to tell you.
They're so used to having their shirts ripped open too, they don't even react.
They
Like,
don't
he's
even
just,
react.
he never took his hands out of his pockets. He
Right.
was just like,
Well, I mean, I feel like in LA when the Santa Anas come in, they're walking around, their
wind.
shirts get ripped open, and they're just used to it. You
Yeah,
know, they're
sure.
used to their shirts being ripped open.
What do you guys think about the tattoos? I think we started.
I thought
to
they were
talk about
great.
it.
I actually made a note at how good I thought the tattoos were.
yeah. I thought they were great fake. I mean, they're great
Yeah.
movie tattoos, but
Yeah.
also I just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Yakuza look in general.
Yeah.
Like, it's so like, it's just another culture that we don't understand. It's mysterious. I
Yeah.
love that.
Mm-hmm. I remember watching. This was the Russian mob though, like Eastern Promises.
Oh,
Oh,
hell
Eastern
yeah.
Promises.
With-
Oh yeah.
So good, right?
Great
With
movie.
Viggo.
I mean, you're just thinking about that fight scene. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Oh my god! But
This movie is like the progenitor of that. We got
Yeah.
the shower,
It
the
is, you're
bathhouse fight
right.
coming up.
you're absolutely right.
You're right. Yeah.
But the tattoos, like it's odd. Like I found it really interesting, which is odd for me because I'm not into tattoos.
Mhm.
Or what did you like? Generally speaking, like what do you guys think when you see somebody with like a body full of tattoos like that?
I can't imagine that the amount of time it would take for it to get all that done.
Kevin's looking at it from a logistics standpoint.
Yeah, I'm not a tattoo person either, though. But I think that for the Yakuza, I think it's like a cool sort of just like mysterious.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
Like, I mean, I don't mind tattoos. That level of body tattoos can be a little distracting to me, honestly, because it just looks like you're wearing a bodysuit, right?
Yeah, I think that's like you can't really tell the just either definition or lack of definition of their actual body and muscles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's
So you're just like looking for the definition.
Well,
How
I just
shredded are these
noticed that
guys? I can't tell.
Well, I knew obviously Yoshida's not. Like you can tell that they aren't, but I guess like if you aren't, that's a good way to hide.
I should get
You know
some
what I mean?
tattoos.
It's
I'm gonna
true.
get some abs tattooed on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see you getting abs tattooed on. Yeah, I'm going to do that too, actually. So,
Sorry to derail.
no. Tangents are what we
We live
love.
for
We
the
live
tangents.
for tangents. So Yoshida asks, "Have we met before?" Yeah.
Mhm.
And Kenner says, "The last time I saw him, your face still matched."
I was bothered. I didn't think the scar makeup was,
No, it was
obvious
terrible.
enough.
I thought the makeup was terrible.
I mean, it was a bad makeup job, but it
Yeah.
should have been like just a more pronounced
Yeah.
scar because some scenes you couldn't even tell
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
scar makeup
Yeah.
on.
I thought it was from a burn or something.
Yeah,
Like, I
it
thought
just
this-
didn't
the-
look. It just didn't look right.
It didn't look
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it didn't look good. I got a note about it. It just like, particularly when you're looking at it at a 65-inch television at 4K HDR, which again, it didn't improve the movie. It becomes very apparent how bad the makeup is in that moment, which is weird because the tattoo makeup was so good,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
They blew the budget on the tattoos,
they
I guess.
clearly had to.
all $8 million of the budget, went to the
Which is
tattoo
with the
makeup.
tattoos.
Yes.
So Yoshida says, I always knew we'd meet again, and I should have finished the job way back then. Okay, so explain to me why he didn't finish the job on a 9-year-old.
I don't know. That's a good question because just because he got his face sliced,
Right.
I feel like that's all the more reason that I'm gonna
To
kill this
him
kid.
right then. But
Yeah.
anyway, we're
Maybe he
not going to
ran
worry about
off.
it. Yeah.
Maybe he ran off.
I guess so.
May I offer he was not as sadistic yet 25 years ago. He was like, he's a kid. I'm not so sociopathic
I like that
just
idea.
yet.
Maybe.
I like that because that gives him an arc, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Kenner created this monster.
yeah, Kenner
He gave him
created
that
this
scar on his face,
and
and
so
now,
like he's perseverated on it for 20 years,
Yeah.
looking at it, who's disfigured him. And I love the idea that Kenner sort of in part created this monster, like Batman in part created the Joker.
yes,
Right? Like,
Mm.
there's some pathos here now. I'm
I
on
lo-
board
I'm
with
here
this.
for
I
it.
like this.
It is, and I think this was the director's original intent. of the movie,
Definitely.
and then
We
they-
want the 3-hour
Without a doubt.
director's
Yeah,
cut.
I want the
You
3-hour
know?
director's cut. It turns into like this some serious Scorsese
I know, Best Picture
mob
quality.
movie. Yeah. So anyway, Kenner says you can finish the job now, and Yoshida goes, "Don't think so." Okay. After a long stare down, Johnny finally steps in and tries to defuse the situation. And he starts speaking to the goons, which I love that he speaks to them like they're 3-year-olds. Right? It reminded me of the scene in what's the Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker movie?
Rush Hour.
Rush
yeah.
Hour.
Where it's like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my
Yeah.
mouth? It's like it reminded me of that moment. Anyway, so he takes out his badge. He's like, look, we're cops, and it would be bad to kill us. The goons either don't understand or just don't care. Johnny then turns his attention to Kenner and says, like, look, if you kill Yoshida like this, it'll betray the cone of honor that you care so much about, and then we'll both get killed in the process.
He called him champ again.
Called him champ again.
Did
Everybody
he?
take a drink. Everybody take a drink. So Johnny asks if Kenner's going to kill Yoshida, and Kenner goes, not now, maybe later. And I thought it was like, no, definitely later. Like the stronger line would be not now, later.
yeah.
Right? Just drop the maybe, right? Anyway, Kenner recognizes that they're in this predicament, and he shouts out to the whole assembled goons that all the club's patrons saw us come in, and if you kill cops down here, it's gonna like bring down holy terror from the LAPD on top of you.
So I feel like these guys, they kicked in the door and started assaulting
Right.
employees here without ever once
Right.
saying we're police.
Right.
I feel like they could have killed them
They
and
could
just
have in
said,
self-defense.
said it's self-defense.
Nobody knows they're there.
Nobody knows they're
probably.
there. No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. So Kenner holsters his pistol and says that they're going to meet again. And Kenner and Johnny then cautiously back away from this very tense standoff as Yoshida gives them the evil eye. I do love this though when it's a nice reversal. This is a legitimately good moment. I'm not being facetious here. So
Okay.
when they're leaving, Kenner says that I'm going to kill you later in Japanese, and then Yoshida responds in English, "You too." And I thought that was
Oh.
a great exchange, right? That was like a strong moment, you know.
Agreed.
Johnny's outside the bar. Johnny's pissed at Kenner for ignoring his own instructions to be polite.
That's fair.
Yeah.
This whole incursion was just a shit show.
Yo, absolutely. At which point Kenner gets very angry and is like, "You need to drive, right?" So I'm just too angry to drive. So in the car, Johnny starts pressing Kenner on what's going on, and he says, like, "You really got to tell me, or like you just go at it alone. I don't care anymore." At which point Kenner goes, "I'll go alone." And Johnny goes, "That's not good enough.
That's not good enough."
Call his bluff, and then like
That was unintentionally funny.
Right, I know.
Well, Dolph, this movie, it's just like, it's serious. And then Brandon's whole point is to try and be funny, and he's not. Like, he's just not.
Right.
Like, he can't deliver his lines quite right. Meanwhile, like, Dolph is being like really serious and having like a good moment. And I don't know, it's just are we a buddy cop funny comedy movie, or are we like a serious movie?
Well, I think that this comes back to when Lester was originally writing it.
Yes.
He wanted it to be serious. It wasn't a buddy cop movie. It was like a drama. It wasn't an action movie. It was a drama.
I want to see that movie.
Right, exactly. And then over the course of Warner Brothers rewriting the script, and then they film it, and then they edit it, it turns into this, or they try to turn it into this buddy cop movie.
They did.
And so it walks this line, and it never really decides which side that it wants to fall on.
It's a shame, because I think there's a really, not that this was a bad movie, because it was very enjoyable, but I think there's like a much better movie in there.
Oh, agreed.
Anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And this is actually, honestly, unless it stars Steven Seagal, this is something that we come back to a lot, is that even the movies that we don't love genuinely and we love more ironically, there's a good movie in there somewhere. Like, I remember us talking about Action Jackson, that like there was potentially a good movie here.
It was a good premise.
It was a good premise.
An updated like blaxploitation.
Exactly. And then just the execution failed on it. And so the same thing here. Like, I feel like that there was a much better movie here. But anyway, so Johnny slams on the brakes. They stop on the side of the road, which thank God there wasn't any cars behind them. And and he proceeds to scream at Kenner some more. He climbs out of the car across the hood.
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
Yeah, a little weird. And then calls Kenner a samurai asshole. And then Johnny says, for reasons that are never explained, that he actually likes Kenner and doesn't want to see him killed. And I'm like, really? Like,
I liked that moment.
It was.
I know, but it was kind of like, it was a good moment. Like,
well, I mean,
the best little chemistry moment I felt like they had in the movie maybe was this one. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't want to see you get killed for reasons I can't even explain. I actually like you. Yeah,
and I guess they bonded over that fight sequence in the Bonsai Club.
They've got each other's back.
Yeah. So Kenner drops his facade finally and explains that, look, when I was a 9-year-old boy in Japan, I saw my parents get murdered in front of me. And he said that the guy who did it was a part of the Iron Claw Yakuza family. So Kenner explains that, like, I cut him in the face with a wooden sword because I'm Dolph Lundgren and I'm super powerful like that. And the guy that I cut was Yoshida. And Johnny's response is, that's perfect. I'm partner with a homicidal maniac on a personal vendetta for family vengeance. Good job undercutting a vulnerable moment, dude.
No shit. This is exactly what I'm saying.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, he's actually like, really, it's a dramatic.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a line that was in there strictly for the movie trailer.
Another trailer line.
That's a good trailer line. But that's got to be one of the most outlandish like coincidences.
Oh, I know.
Ever in a movie.
Yeah.
That like, in the same exact shit happened in the Seagal movie Above the Law, where like we ran afoul of each other half a world away 20 years ago, and now we've happened to come back into, because it's not like one was looking for the other actively.
Exactly.
They just happened to meet in a major city on the other side of the world 20 years later. Well, I mean, it's like you wouldn't even run into the same person in the same city twice in a lifetime, probably.
No.
Not a city like LA.
Great point.
Yeah, especially like
Great
LA.
Point.
Yeah. But this is movies.
I will say this particular scene of Kenner explaining this to Johnny, this is where I was like, I literally wrote down in my notes, my God, Dolph is good looking. Like it was like distractingly so. Oh my God, you guys.
It's not enough that he's muscular, but that moment of vulnerability really took him over the edge.
They
and
like
his
built
face,
him in
it's
a
not
lab.
even about it. Like his face, he is built in a lab.
He is an Adonis. I mean, like the definition of Adonis. Yeah. So Kenner's response to Johnny's quip is like, "I'll help you get reassigned if that's what you want. Like, forget about it. That's fine."
But it wasn't like a blowing him off way. It was sort of like
this is like,
I'll help you land like in a good spot.
Right.
If
like
you don't
I get
want
it.
any
This
part
isn't
of this.
working. Yeah. So So Johnny says, "Look, if we're gonna do this right, we're gonna do it like cops in the 20th century." But nothing of what they've done to this point is like cops in the 20th century.
And nothing they do from this point on.
Right, exactly. And they're going to bust Yoshida cleanly, which they don't do.
Then he has the great line.
And then he has a great line, and when we're done, we're going to eat fish off those naked chicks.
That was a genuine like laugh.
I did laugh at that line. And then they do a predator handshake. We get some flexes from Dolph.
The modified sort of high five.
And that's where we're going to leave you for episode 2, everybody.
Woo, they've bonded.
They bonded.
Oh, hey, what's going to happen?
I don't know. It's crazy times.
Oh, man. Okay, well, we've gone on far too long again. But it's fun to talk about. It's fun to talk about it with Katie.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us again. We hope you're going to keep going down this wormhole deeper and deeper with us. We've got to be near the bottom.
No, we're not even halfway to the bottom.
Okay. Well,
you ain't never getting rid of me.
Oh, snap.
I love it.
All right.
I
I love permanent guests.
Okay.
I speak in Rockyisms.
So with that being said, we'll see you next week.
And we'll be back.